What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Sweet and Savory Barbecue. I'm your host, Jamie Trader. Today we're going to be doing jerk chicken out on our Weber Kettle. Let's get started. So we've got a whole chicken here. This one weighed just over 5 pounds. We're going to cut this chicken in half. That way we get good bark on the inside and on the outside. It's really easy. Just take you a pair of kitchen shears and cut down each side of the backbone. There's one side done. Sometimes the second side's a little harder just because it wants to move around, but it's not too bad. You're going to go through a little bit of rib cage, a little bit of bone, that's alright. Just come in here and clean all that up. There's your backbone. We're going to lay our chicken out. We're going to come right down the breastbone and split it right in half. There you got 2 perfect chicken halves. Now it's time to get some seasoning on these chicken. We're going to flip them back over, get the inside. We're using the Jammin jerk rub from How to Barbecue Right. Do a pretty good coat on the inside. That looks good. Same thing to the other side. You can smell that jerk rub. It's got a lot of flavors from the Caribbean in there. I'll flip them over. So what we're going to do to the skin side is we're going to hit them with a little bit of cooking spray. That's going to help that skin golden up, get nice and pretty. And we're going to come back with that same Jammin jerk rub. Make sure you get underneath the wings. We're going to let these hang out right here on the counter while we go outside and get our Weber Kettle fired up. So we've got a chimney full of royal oak lump charcoal. We've got a tumbleweed to get it started. Just light the tumbleweed. Go ahead and place your chimney right over there and let the coals get good and hot, and we'll dump them in there. We're going to set it up for a 2-zone fire today. Our charcoal is good and hot. We've got a little bit of flame peeking up through it. We're going to go ahead and get it dumped out all on one side. We're going to put a little bit of unlit right on top of that. Now, typically in Jamaica, they use pimento wood for their smoke flavor. I don't have that here, so we're going to use a little bit of cherry. Just get that on the coals. We're going to get our rack in place. We're going to get our lid on. We want our vent over those coals to keep our cool side where the thermometer is. We'll leave our top vent wide open and our bottom vent about halfway or so. Not looking for a real ideal temperature on here. We're going to sear this chicken off, get some good char on there, and move it over to the cool side to get it finished out. So our grill's good and hot. You know, we're running about 400 degrees on our cool side. We may try to bump that down just a little bit after we get it seared off. Some good cherry smoke rolling. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this chicken on skin side down first. We're going to close our lid and let that go for about 5 minutes. Had our chicken on about 5 minutes. Going to flip it over to the other side. Oh yeah, it's looking really good. It's got a good char on there. We're going to let that side sear for 5 minutes. Then we'll get it moved over to our cool side. Another 5 minutes. Alright, so we're going to get our chicken moved over here to our cool side. Good char on the back side. Now what I want to do is I want to point that dark meat back towards the fire, because that needs to go a little higher in temperature to get done. Got our ThermalWorks dot here. We're going to stick it right here in the breast. We're still down at 80, 70, somewhere between 75 and 80 degrees. Still got a ways to go. We're just going to let that cook. And once it gets to 155, we're going to bring out a glaze and put it on that chicken. So we've hit 155. We're going to go ahead and bump that up to 165. We're going to get our glaze on our chicken. Look at that. That don't look good. I'll leave the recipe for this sauce on the screen and in the description. Just going to brush that on there. And let that set while that chicken finishes out. Our alarm is going off. We've hit 165. And that chicken looks awesome. We're gonna get it off, get it inside, let it rest for about 20 minutes, then it's time to dig in. So our jerk chicken's been resting here for about 20 minutes. We're gonna break into it real quick, but before we do that, we're gonna go over what we did. We started with a 5-pound chicken. We cut it down in half, just cut the backbone out of it and split that breastbone right down the middle. We got it seasoned with the Jammin jerk rub from Killer Hogs. Let it hang out here for about 30 minutes while we got the grill fired up. Once the grill was up to temperature, we seared our chicken on both sides, 5 minutes per side, and then we got it moved over to our cool zone. Got a probe stuck in there, set it for 155 degrees. We made up a quick jerk sauce and glazed it once it hit 155. Let it finish out to 165 and let it rest for 20 minutes. All in all, this was probably about an hour cook. So now we're going to kind of break it down a little bit. We're going to start with this one. We're going to come in here, we're going to take this thigh and leg off. We're going to come in here, take the wing off. Now traditionally, when you go to Jamaica, they kind of just chop it up. So that's kind of what we're going to do, just do a little rough chop of it. There's still going to be some bones in there, you got to pick it around, that's okay. You can see that chicken is still nice and moist, tender, flavorful, smoky. We're going to come in here, chop up some of this dark meat from the thigh, pull some of that out of there. We're just going to mix all that up. Another thing they'll do in Jamaica is they'll bring you some sauce on the side. All you do is just take your jerk chicken and dip it in that sauce. That is phenomenal. That sauce is sweet, but it's got a good kick to it. There's a little bit still on that skin. You get a smoky grill flavor coming from that chicken. That's awesome jerk chicken. Thank you for checking out this week's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And watch the next video we got picked out for you. We'll see you next time.